Hey guys, Tyler here with Hornbaker Acres. So right now, I just finished up assessing one removal, and I'm on my way. And that removal, I don't know if I'm going to get to it or not. It's going to require the client to rent a boom lift because it's at the peak of a two-story house in the soffit. I can't access it from the attic. So anyway, I was going to do the removal today, but it requires more equipment, so I told the client to see if they can source out a boom lift for a price that they find reasonable. So anyway, I'm on my way to another possible removal. I'm not going to get to it today, but I want to at least go assess it. It's at a church, and when they asked me how much I would charge for removal, they said it's in an attic. For one, I don't have near enough information to make a proper assessment. For two, I told them nothing. What? Free removals? So now here's the thing. This is a quick video that just came to mind while I'm driving. Sorry if I look down every once in a while. I'm actually looking at my directions on my phone. Multitasking. But anyway, so I talk about this on our website. I've talked about it on my Facebook page. I've never talked about it on my YouTube channel, and I just want to get the information out there. Free bee removals are practically expected most of the time because the general public thinks that beekeepers should perform free removals because they get the free bees, right? Sure, that's true. We get the bees, and we wouldn't do it if we didn't want the bees. Let's be honest. But it's also a side income, and it's more than just the bees that we have to worry about. So, for one, let's talk about these quote-unquote free bees that we're going to get as beekeepers. These bees are not going to produce honey for you, at least surplus honey, that you can sell for probably a whole year. In that year's time, it requires a lot of extra equipment. Again, I go into full details on my website. I'll have a link to that exact article in the description, but I want to overview it here. So in that time, it's going to require equipment to house them in, right? The hive boxes, the bottom board, top board, all that kind of stuff. It's also going to require a significant amount of feed because the removal process really creates a lot of stress for them. There's a lot of comb that you can't save, so they're kind of starting over and you're kind of messing them up. Even if you can't save all the comb, they still have to create wax to reattach the comb. Plus they have to reorient. And that means they have to find new food sources in the new area that they're in. It just really puts them back. Plus, unfortunately, the removal process can kill quite a few bees, by accident, squashing them. The bee vac, as well as I've designed it, it does kill a few bees. Nothing significant. Sometimes the brood doesn't make it because the removal takes so long that the brood either gets overheated or it gets chilled. So, it's a stressful time for the bees. So you're going to have to feed them, and feed them a lot for that probably first year before they start building surplus honey. That costs money. Another aspect of doing removals is I've probably got about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of equipment that I use for my removals. That is a significant investment that I have to do a lot of removals to basically take care of, to replace, to replenish, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of stumbling here because, again, this is very off the cuff and I just wanted to talk about it. So that's a lot of investment into doing removals. It's just all the tools and specialty equipment. My FLIR camera alone was almost $400. The ladder, my little giant ladder, you know how expensive those darn things are. Those are $200-something. There's a lot of specialty equipment that you need. I've got a borescope. I've got lots of various power tools, all sorts of things. So there's a lot of various equipment that a beekeeper needs just to perform removals, which is an extra cost. Also, something I forgot to mention is in that first year, while you're feeding them and spending all that money, they may not make it. Life is rough for a bee, especially when they get transferred over like that, when they get removed like that. So a couple things could happen. They could just simply not like the fact that you removed them and place them into an unknown location, an unknown home, and they can abscond or just completely leave, and then you're out of those bees, basically, right? So they could die for lots of various reasons during the winter, during the summer. Lots of various reasons beehives die. They're really fighting a battle with all sorts of diseases and pests and everything, poisons, and basically humanity taking away a lot of their natural foraging areas. So they're really battling right now, and so because of all that, they could die in that first year. So you're not even guaranteed to keep the bees. So bees might not make it. You just have to pay to take care of them because of all the food, all the specialty equipment. Let's not forget about the skill and hard work it takes to do removals. An average cutout for me takes, hours, right? So, and that's hours typically in the afternoon here in Arizona. Right now it's 81 degrees, and I was getting ready to do a removal. It's only early March, but I was getting ready to do a removal that was going to take me probably 3 hours plus to do it. When it's 81 degrees right now at 2:45, it's only going to get hotter before the sun goes down. So that's hot, hard work, reaching overhead. And then, like I said, let's not discount the skill involved. Not every beekeeper can do removals. There's definitely some experience and knowledge that goes along with it to do a removal properly and to prevent any kind of safety mishaps with, especially here in Arizona with Africanized bees. You don't want to set them off and have them attacking the neighbor's dog. So those are all precautions that you have to take. And you have to know what you're doing and have the proper equipment to do it. But at the end of it, it's still, like I said, it's still work. I don't know why beekeepers are expected to do free work, because the bees, honestly, for a beekeeper that's established, having the bees like another colony is the last of our concern. We can always create splits at any given time, basically, especially here in Arizona. As long as queens are available, we can create new colonies all the time. The bees are really just kind of an extra little bonus, but not a huge deal to us to have yet another colony, because I can create colonies all the time. So you're really not saving a beekeeper much money by allowing them to take the bees from your home. So, and then the last little tidbit that another beekeeper pointed out to me, as kind of like an analogy, you wouldn't hire a tree trimming service to remove a tree for free just because they can take the firewood home, process it, or take the wood home, process it, and sell it as firewood, right? Everybody pays their tree trimmers to take down a tree. It's a big undertaking, it takes a lot of equipment, a lot of skill and knowledge, experience. But just because they can get a free pile of firewood, that's really not doing them any service, right? So you wouldn't expect to not charge, or for them to not charge you. Now, on the flip side of this, the actual reason why I'm saying all this is to lead up to this point. This removal that I'm going to assess right now is at a church, and I felt it in my heart to do it for free. Now, after I just got done saying all those reasons of why beekeepers should charge to do removals, I sound a bit like a hypocrite right now, and I promise you I'm not. I think that beekeepers should be paid a fair wage for their service to do removals. However, I also believe that if you have a skill and ability and knowledge, that occasionally you need to generate some goodwill, in the world. I believe that if you have the ability to do something nice for somebody, you should, right? Now, yeah, I still charge for removals from time to time, but there's certain situations where it's an elderly couple on a fixed income. I've done that before. You saw my video of the disabled veteran. I did that one for free. There's a family that the husband was fighting a couple different kinds of cancer, basically, and was in really poor health, and so the family's struggling because of all the medical bills and everything like that. They were willing to pay me, but I told them no charge because I wanted them to use those funds to enjoy their life as much as they can, spend it on dinner, whatever, go out as a family, enjoy their life as a family. This church, I'm not an overly religious man, but I'm very strong in my faith, and I'm not going to go on a whole side tangent. I believe in God, I've got my faith, but I don't necessarily go to church. But I do believe that the church does very good things for many good people. They help a lot of people, right? So this is my way of paying them back for all the service and hard work they do for others. Hopefully, you know, by me saving them some money, they can further that cause. So that's just something that I wanted to get out or off my chest, was about free removals, and hopefully you kind of understand where us beekeepers are coming from. If you got a bee issue, find your local beekeeper, pay them a fair wage. And again, please go to my website to the link, because I explain so much more into the mathematics of why you should do a removal instead of hiring an exterminator just to spray the bees. It actually ends up being cheaper for a beekeeper to do the removal than it does to have an exterminator just spray the bees and forget them. And again, I explain that all on my website, so go to that link in my description. I explain it fully. I can't end the video without asking you, while you're here, please subscribe. I know some of you guys that are watching right now, you're not subscribed. Take that quick second, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like. It really helps me keep doing what I'm doing. I hope you guys really enjoy this video. Hope you guys are having a great day. Happy beekeeping. God bless.